But what about Rooney? Will Rooney get a certain level of blame as a consequence of this tonight?
Yeah, he probably will, Bill. You know, I think it'll be Rooney didn't...
Failed again, as it were,
well,
is it?
more or less, I would say. They mightn't be too hard on, but I don't think they're going to say he played great and he redeemed himself in any way. Because, and I don't know, many people will mention that he's actually not playing in his best position again. And I think it's unfair on him. He did okay in relation to the rest of the English players.
But no more than that.
But he delivered a great ball for the goal.
He did, yeah, absolutely.
But John's right, he's playing out of position, Bill. And, you know, you're playing at that level for your country with the expectation people have of Wayne Rooney, and they play him outside left.
Well, they had to change, didn't they?
They brought him into the centre.
Yeah, and Gerrard said it there. They were Italy were causing them all sorts of problems because Wayne Rooney's he's not someone that you should have tracking back for the Italian full-back Darmian. That's not fair on Wayne Rooney. You've got to get him on the ball in the opposition half, and he was playing out of position.
When you were playing wide, when you were playing wide, right or left, you're dependent on other people in the team to get the ball to you.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if Rooney's playing in the middle of the field, then it's his responsibility to get the ball out to people.
Yeah.
So there's nobody there that's as good as him at doing what he can do in an influential position. So it's a waste.
There are consequences as well. Italy's first goal came from an attack down the right-hand side. They created 2 other chances in the first half.
From which they might have scored,
Now, this is what Gerrard referred to, the problems that were caused. The problems weren't caused by osmosis. They were caused because a very good centre-forward or a very good number 10 was playing outside left and isn't psychologically disposed to track him back. Now, because they didn't have that, they gave away a goal. A corner taken, back of the net. So there are consequences to decisions that coaches make.
Yeah.
And Rooney should not be blamed.
I'll tell you what you'd find.
Well, I'm not suggesting that he should.
No,
I know that.
Will there be a...
If you take a position,
kind of
which you reverse it a little bit, in Italy's case, imagine playing Pirlo on the left wing.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So
it'd be nonsense, wouldn't it?
It'd be a similar situation.
Yeah. Now, one of the things you said, John, before the match started, you wondered, were the young lads, you said, being promoted beyond their station? So what's your judgment on the young England players today?
Well, I think Sterling did well and Sturridge did well. Welbeck, okay, mostly when he was winning the ball back, up to the point where the crucial period in the second half where Sturridge didn't do much. They got tired, Bill.
They did, yeah.
Now, I know that can happen to a lot of players, but I think they did. I think Sterling should have been in the outside left position and Rooney in his position.
Center, yeah.
Because he did when he got on the left wing, he's actually a good player at going past people, and he did well. I must say, no, he did better than I expected him to do. And Sturridge, I think, is a good player. He's a little bit older, so I wouldn't. I think the fact that Hodgson played those particular players was a success.
Would that be your view, Liam?
Yeah, you'd have to. If you look at chances created or good positions to score goals, I think England did every bit as well as Italy. However, they did concede that Balotelli goal in the second half.
Yeah, which was predictable according to him.
Yeah, it was down to Cahill not being vigilant enough, not being close enough to Balotelli to give him the chance to climb above him and head the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. So it was a fine line tonight. It really was. Yeah. You know, Barkley had a very good effort. He was a bit unlucky.
That's right.
Rooney, when he fooled the goalkeeper, he pretended he was going to hit it to the goalkeeper's left, and he drilled it. It just scraped the post, and I do think England should have had a penalty. So
yeah, we look at these after the break.
I think they were a little bit unlucky. But having said that, if you look at possession and you look at how the one side administered the game compared to the other, the Italians were better.
Yeah, but if you're looking at tonight's performance for England in the context of the Uruguay match, like, would you start Lallana? Would you start Barkley?
You've got to see how the players come out of the game and how they're feeling and things like that. But you know, they won't be playing in those conditions again. You know, it didn't suit them. It suited Italy better because they're better in possession of the ball. And looking at Uruguay this evening, you know, England could beat them. But it's a terrible blow to their morale. If they had got a result there this evening, a 2-2 draw or a 1-1 draw, they'd be going in really fancying their chances against Uruguay. But now they're under enormous pressure.
Would you play the young fellas?
Well, I think you balance the team. I'd start off by correcting the Rooney situation. I wouldn't play him there again. And I think John's right. I think Sterling can do it out wide and Rooney can't. So I'd play Rooney in his proper position. And, you know, John Terry's not there, so you've got to stick with what you've got. Suarez will be back for Uruguay.
Maybe.
If he's back and firing, because the rest of the team, him and Cavani,
they might have to throw him back in.
They might have to. They didn't look a top side tonight, and England, if they can recover, England, you know, can. But he's got to set his team up properly. You can't go to World Cup finals without John Terry.
Yeah. He's not there now.
No, I'm telling you that these are the things that will, you know, define Hodgson as a coach. At these decisions, they are decisions. It's not by accident.
Yeah, that's a good point, because you made the point before the game that for the English manager and the Italian manager, this was a hugely important game, and this was a hugely important tournament.
Yeah, well,
will he get his P45 if they don't make it?
He'll definitely get his P45 if he doesn't get out of the group, Bill, without any doubt.
First match, Bill.
Yeah, but
we're talking about.
No, we're talking about getting out of the group.
Yeah, but I was talking about fundamental mistakes as well.
I am, yeah. So the question of whether to play the young players or not is secondary.
Yeah.
I think the lads have covered that. Sterling in his right position. I think he showed tonight in the first half that he had the temperament.
Yeah.
He made the goal. He made the pass, a brilliant pass for Rooney to cross, for Sturridge to score. Now, Sturridge and Raheem Sterling are young players. They're good players. If they're played in the right position. I think Barkley is very promising, could be a top player in time. But it's other decisions. You see, if you start being too critical of young players and without looking at what's going on around them, say Gerrard tonight. Gerrard was non-existent. He'd be playing on Wednesday. He'd be the first name on the team sheet because he's the captain of the team. He's not delivering, Bill. He's not capable at this age in his career of doing anything other than the job he does brilliantly for Liverpool. So that's one mistake. Yeah. They're going to have Jagielka and Cahill again
that's another mistake.
Against Suarez and Cavani. And they're going to have the best central defender in the Premier League, John Terry, sitting at home watching a match on television. So that's another mistake. Yeah. That's how you lose. And
that's how you get your P45 as well.
That's how you get your P. It doesn't happen by accident. Now, just to make one final point about Prandelli, Balotelli was superb.
He was.
From first to last minute tonight. Disciplined, scored a winning goal, touch was perfect. That's a decision as well, the Prandelli. Another coach, and I'd be the one, wouldn't have Balotelli anywhere near me.
Yeah.
But isn't that true, isn't it, Liam?
Yeah, and in contrast, England didn't really have a centre forward, did you? Sturridge is not an out-and-out centre forward, and Welbeck, as we said, he ran his heart out and he got the ball back for England, but he didn't show much quality when he had the ball, whereas Balotelli did have a good evening tonight.
He did.
He showed all his class, particularly in keeping possession when the ball was knocked into him.